So let's go to the biggest unanswerable questions of consciousness. What is, you just rolled your eyes.
I
I
did.
didn't
That was
even,
my, yeah.
so what is consciousness from a neuroscience perspective? I know you, I mean,
I made notes, because you gave me some questions in
yeah.
advance, and I made notes for every single.
Oh, except that one?
Yeah, well, that one I had, what the fuck? And then I took it out.
So is there something interesting, because you're so pragmatic, is there something interesting to say about intuition building about consciousness? Or is this something that we're just totally clueless about, that this is, let's focus on the body, the brain listens to the body speaks to the brain, and let's just figure this piece out, and then consciousness will probably emerge somehow after that.
No, I think, well, first of all, it'll just say up front, I am not a philosopher of consciousness, and I'm not a neuroscientist who focuses on consciousness. I mean, in some sense, I do study it because I study affect and mood, and that is the, um, to use the phrase, that is the hard question of consciousness. How is it that your brain is modeling your body? Your brain is modeling the sensory conditions of your body. It's and it's being updated. That model is being updated by the sense data that's coming from your body, and it's happening continuously your whole life. And you don't feel those sensations directly. What you feel is a general sense of pleasantness or unpleasantness, comfort, discomfort, feeling worked up, feeling calm. So we call that affect. Most people call it mood. So how is it that your brain gives you this very low dimensional feeling of mood or affect when it's presumably receiving a very high dimensional array of sense data, and the model that the brain is running of the body has to be high dimensional because there's a lot going on in there, right? You're not aware, but as you're sitting there quietly, as your listeners or our viewers are sitting,
They might be working out, running now, or as many of them write to
that's
me,
fair.
they're laying in bed smoking weed with their eyes closed and
That's fair. So maybe we should say that bit again then. So some people may be working out, some people may be,
relaxing.
relaxing. But, even if you're sitting very still while you're watching this or listening to this, there's a whole drama going on inside your body that you're largely unaware of.
Yeah.
Yet your brain makes you aware or gives you a status report, in a sense, by virtue of these mental features of feeling pleasant, feeling unpleasant, feeling comfortable, feeling uncomfortable, feeling energetic, feeling tired, and so on. And so how the hell is it doing that? That is the basic question of consciousness.
And like the status reports seem to be, in the way we experience them, seem to be quite simple. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of data.
Yeah, no, that there isn't. So when you feel discomfort, when you're feeling basically like shit, you feel like shit. What does that tell you? Like, what are you supposed to do next?
Yeah.
What caused it? I mean, the thing is, not one thing caused it, right? It's multiple factors probably influencing your physical state. Your
Like
body
you said,
budget.
it's very high dimensional. Yeah.
It's very high dimensional. And there are different temporal scales of influence, right? So, the state of your gut is not just influenced by what you ate 5 minutes ago. It's also what you ate a day ago and 2 days ago and so on. So, so I think when I'm not trying to weasel out of the question. I just think it's the hardest question, actually.
Do you think we'll ever understand it? As scientists,
I think that we will understand it as well as we understand other things like the birth of the universe or the nature of the universe. I guess I would say so. I think we can get to that level of an explanation? I do, actually, but I think that we have to start asking somewhat different questions and approaching the science somewhat differently than we have in the past.
I mean, it's also possible that consciousness is much more difficult to understand than the nature of the universe.
It is, but I wasn't necessarily saying that it was a question that was of equivalent complexity. I was saying that I do think that we could get to some. I am optimistic that I would not. I would be very willing to invest my time on this earth as a scientist in trying to answer that question if I could do it the way that I want to do it, not the way that it's currently being done.
So like rigorously.
I don't want to say unrigorously. I just want to say that there are a certain set of assumptions that, scientists have what I would call ontological commitments. They're commitments about the way the world is or the way that nature is. And these commitments lead scientists sometimes blindly sometimes scientists are aware of these commitments, but sometimes they're not. And these commitments nonetheless influence how scientists ask questions, what they measure, how they measure. And I just have very different views than a lot of my colleagues about the ways to approach this. Not everybody, but the way that I would approach it would be different, and it would cost more, and it would take longer. It doesn't fit very well into the current incentive structure of science. And so do I think that doing science the way science is currently done with the budget that it currently has and the incentive structure that it currently has, will we have an answer? No, I think absolutely not. Good luck is what I would say.